everybody. Welcome back to the Building a Song Track by Track series that I've been doing. This is probably the 6th video. This week I will not be recording a new track. I will just be showing some mixing. I have really just, I think, have vocals left to do. Maybe a couple other little added tracks to add some sounds to it. But I don't have lyrics yet, so I can't do the vocals. So I'm going to just show you some different mixing techniques. We're going to look at the drums, the bass, and some stuff I'm doing to the one set of the electric guitar tracks. So mixing usually takes hours and hours and hours. I'm just rushing through this. I've set it up a little bit so not as to make this too long and tedious for people to get through. So hopefully you're finding it interesting, and if you're getting into mixing stuff, you might learn some things as well. So we're going to start with the drums. I've got this compressor, this plugin that has a compressor and EQ, and then this other sort of EQ thing here. Adding just a little bit in the high mids on this EQ, compressing it just slightly, then adding some bottom and a little top, what they call thickness and shimmer. I also have it running through a tape machine emulation. It just adds something to the sound, kind of makes it a little more pleasant sounding, I guess. I'm going to send these drum tracks to, I guess it's just one drum track, but sending it to a reverb just for the drums, and then what I'm calling the drum crush bus, which I have a different compressor on that I'm being pretty aggressive with. So the drums you're actually going to hear are just the straight drum signal, and then added to that a very compressed drum signal that's just going to thicken it up a little bit. So let's check it out. So that's just adding a little bit of reverb to it. I'll probably accentuate the reverb a little bit. I'll turn it up so I can maybe talk and you can still hear it. So really I would probably dial that back down a little bit. And then I'll add in this compressed drum channel, and you can hear what this does to the sound. It definitely brings out the kick quite a bit. Honestly, I think it's probably compressing the cymbals a little more than I would want, so I may deal with that. But the kick and the toms are really accentuated now, which I like. We're going to add in the bass here just so you can hear it with something else. We'll stop it here and mute these channels actually, so we can check out what I'm doing with the guitars. Now when I initially recorded these guitar tracks, I didn't record through a guitar amp because I didn't want to bother the rest of my household. So I just plugged it straight into the computer and recorded them with some effects. So I've added this guitar amp simulation plugin. It's one I haven't really used before. And I went through beforehand and kind of picked some different sounds. So for this track, I'm using the jangly Foxy Rhythm SC, which I'm guessing is based on a Jimi Hendrix Foxy Lady sound. It kind of sounds that real thick, fuzzy guitar sound. So I'll just play the guitar track without it, and then I'll take it out of bypass so you can hear the difference. As you can probably hear, it thickens it up really nicely. I think it sounds pretty cool. And when I play it in a minute or two with the whole track, you'll hear it sits in there pretty well. Lose a lot of the high end because of that fuzz, so I may go in and mess with that a little bit because I sort of like the high end frequencies that it gets without the amp emulation on. After I recorded that track, I doubled it just so I can give it more of a sort of stereo spread. And if you kind of change one, if it's just a copy and paste instead of a physically doubling it, it's nice to just change it up a little bit. I've gone a little overboard with my changing of it, so I'll show you what I've got going on here. That's it, just clean. As you can see, adding this other guitar amp sound that I have, it's solid British Solo HB. It changes it completely. It's no longer really a double. It just sounds like a different noisy guitar. So, but I think it's kind of cool. So maybe it'll stay, maybe it won't. I'm gonna just play you everything together so far, and thanks for listening and watching. So there's a little glimpse into what mixing is kind of like. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again for checking out the videos, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe and healthy and clean, and check back in next week for maybe we'll be doing the vocals or something else. We'll find out.